if you're on here and you are doing the 30-day growth challenge, focusing on the social selling system, let me hear you in the comments, okay? Let me hear you in the comments. Number one, if you're doing it. And number two, I would love to see what is your biggest aha with it. What is the most amazing thing that has happened because of it? And it doesn't need to be anything astronomical, you guys. You know, in this business that consistent activity and consistent action, little by little by little, compounded over time is what yields big results, okay? And I shared that with you guys the week that we did our team hangout on business pages. I've been building my business page now for years. And I mean years. Like, I think it was 2016 I created my business page, okay? It wasn't until the beginning of last year, so we're about a year and a half in, where I started using it consistently. And it took a lot of time showing up and doing the things day in and day out, sitting there like, why am I not getting engagement? Why am I not getting the response that I want? That was so good. Why is nobody commenting on it? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I had those moments with myself, and it just required me to continue pushing, continue doing. And then it's like, I don't want to say it's like overnight a flip switches, but if you stay consistent and if you do the things, and I mean the things, that's why I put it in a graphic form for you. So you could be like, check, 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 because you do not want to skip any of the steps. Okay. The social selling system is literally genius. The way that it's laid out to work two platforms together at once, without doing any additional things than we should be doing for our business already. It's just how we're presenting it, the way in which we're doing it, you know, with the whole keywords and the before and afters and that whole thing, okay? And Kristen, I am so glad you just said that. Kristen just said it became habit. That is exactly it. The social selling system, and the reason we're doing the 30-day challenge is because my goal for you at the end is not to say, oh my God, my business page exploded, because it's going to take more than 30 days, guys. I'm going to be totally upfront with you about that. But what I do know will happen is you will see an increase in engagement. You will see network expansion. You will feel more confident, and it will hopefully just be a lifestyle. All right. The beautiful thing about the social selling system is, like, it's the steps of which you need to work your business to get results. And the best way to do it, in my opinion, I wish that, like, I had this years ago, but we used to have the party platform and things were different or whatever. So, like, obviously everything falls into place the way it's meant to. But at the end of it, you're just going to do these things because it's just the things that you do. It's not going to be it's not going to feel like as heavy of an effort. It's not going to feel like as much thought needs to go into it. It's just going to flow, and it's just going to be the steps that you take, the steps that you do. Brittany says, the biggest thing that's come from it is belief in myself that I can, and it feels good. Brittany, that's amazing to hear. And honestly, if you're anything like Brittany and a lot of other people, sometimes you have all the answers, you have all the knowledge, and you have all the know-how and the ability to do the things. But sometimes just seeing it written out step by step by step by step is just what we need. Just what we need to see a formula that we can follow, because there's a million different directions you can go with things in this business. But when you can see, do this, do this, do this, do this, and it's going to produce results, it gives you belief. It gives you hope. It gives you a visual of how to get from point A to point B and where you want to be in this business. And you guys, can we not forget about the freaking bonuses that are on the table right now? $5,000 for Black status. I think it's $3,000 or $4,000 for purple, $2,000 for orange, $1,000 for green. I might be saying all the wrong amounts, but, like, if you don't think that you could put your head down and go after elite status and do it in 4 months, then you're selling yourself short. All right? Because anybody can. Anybody can do it if you make the decision and you're willing to show up and put in the grind, the grit, and give yourself grace along the way. Any single person can get there, okay? I want to hear some more of these takeaways. I lost my pace because of nursing school. Finished finals today. Ooh, congratulations, Adelie. Okay. I'm going to become a Y student again. Yeah, kudos to Adelaide. She just invested big time in the Eric Worre training that was offered the other day during his, what was it, she posted it in the team page, but check it out if you guys want to. All right, so with the social selling system, you guys, all right, there's two problems, okay? There's two problems that most people will face in this business. And there's an answer and a solution to both of them. Okay. So number one is if you are struggling to build your team right now, okay, if you're struggling to sponsor, if you're struggling to grow a team, it probably is because you need to improve your relationship building skills and the way in which you're connecting with people. Okay. So we're going to talk about that. The second problem that a lot of people experience in this business is if you're struggling making sales, okay? It's not the product. It's not Facebook. It's not Mark Zuckerberg's fault. It's probably because if you're struggling to make sales, then it means you're always trying to sell, all right? So if you're struggling to sponsor or if you're struggling to make sales, the good news is, and what we're talking about tonight is that, oh my God, you know what, Brittany? I don't know if I ever posted it. That's really funny that you just said that. And I will post it tonight because gosh darn it, I haven't missed a day in I don't know how long. But now that I'm thinking back to this morning, I don't know if I posted it. That's hysterical. So sorry, side note, that's why I don't read comments during these things or we would be here until 3 o'clock in the morning. Both of these problems can be solved the same exact way, okay? So if you're struggling to sponsor and have people believe in you enough to take on the opportunity for themselves, it really, really, really does go back to relationship building and making connections, okay? And the social selling system speaks to that. And I'm going to give you some tips on what I mean by that. And if you're struggling to make sales, I want you to ask yourself, how much value are you trying to provide versus how much are you trying to make a sale? Okay. So let's get into it. And I made notes, and I usually hate notes because they get me all like I'm trying to read or whatever. But I didn't want to miss any of these things tonight. So number one, let me rewind. If you are struggling with sponsoring and or sales, there's 3 questions that I want you guys to ask yourself, okay? And these questions are what are going to make a difference in the effectiveness that you're having with the social selling system, okay? And I want to rewind again. Remember, and if you don't remember or if you haven't seen it, go back and check it out. Where I laid out the social selling system for you guys with the graphic, with the steps, in that text of that post, it's the post that we check in every day. Those of you doing the challenge with us. There is a team hangout that introduces the social selling system and what it is. And then the second one that's linked on there are factors that need to be present to be successful with it, okay? So here's the thing. The social selling system is a proven system that works, okay? And I know this because when I look at the top income earners of this company, literally the women that are making $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a month with their unique business, and I watch them go up and up and up and up and up and up and up on that list, those are the people that I reach out to and I'm like, hey girl, can I pick your brain? I just had a conversation today with Miranda Parker about her onboarding system, how she brings new presenters into the business when you're bringing multiple people into the business at the same time. Because if you're using the social selling system correctly, you're going to watch your network expand. If your network expands, every day that you show up, you're going to be talking to more people. Every day that you show up, if you're talking to more people, it's more people that you're presenting the opportunity and the products to. And if you're presenting the opportunity and the products to more people, then you're going to get to a place where you have more people purchasing and more people that you're sponsoring all at one time. And that's the goal. Okay? That's a good thing. You want to be so freaking busy that you're like, I don't even know what to do next. So the social selling system is proven. It is proven that it works. What will determine its effectiveness for us, for every person utilizing it, are those factors that are present. So now that you guys have kind of gotten your feet wet with it, and we're on day 15 of the 30-day challenge, I hope that you're seeing improvement. I hope that you're seeing your engagement go up. I hope that you're seeing more likes on your business pages. I hope that you're seeing all of those things. But I know, because I'm having conversations with you guys daily, that there's still people that are like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It's just not working. So that's what inspired tonight's team hangout. It's not the system. Sometimes we just have to ask ourselves some questions and get really real with ourselves, because maybe we don't want to really hear the answer. And that's what we're going to do tonight, because if the answer to these questions, as long as you're being honest, and as long as you're being really real with yourself, because lying to yourself is not going to help anybody, okay? Then you will be able to figure out what you need to tweak, what you need to shimmy, what you need to shift a little bit to start to produce those results that we were just talking about, where you're so busy that you're like, I don't know what message to answer first, okay? So number one question to ask yourself is, how consistent are you? Now, that might sound like a simple question, right? We talk about consistency all the time, but I don't just mean, do you show up every day? That's consistent. But I mean, how consistent are you with following every single step of the social selling system every single day? Do you forget to take your before photos like I do sometimes? Put a Post-it note above your ring light or your camera or your window where you do your things. The last 2 days, I've had to go to my live and take a screenshot at the beginning of my live because I just cleaned my desk. And when I cleaned my desk, I threw my sticky notes away. So guess what your girl forgot to do the last 2 days? I forgot to take my before photo. And it's a habit by now, but you want to know what was a habit? Seeing that note there every day. So now I'm like, oh, okay, I see you, brain. I'm seeing how you're working. So now it's like making that new habit a lifestyle where I don't need to read a note every single day to remember to do something, okay? So how consistent are you? Not just do you show up every day, but are you showing up with value? Are you showing up and using the same keywords every single day? And if any of you are like, I have no idea what she's talking about, keywords, before and afters, whatever, it's the social selling system that I'm referring to. So literally, you're going to want to go back and just check that all out. And then this is all going to make sense. And if you're newer to the team, do not let this overwhelm you. It's actually a really good thing that we now have a step-by-step system that you, on day one of your business, can start to implement. Anyone can, okay? So how consistent are you? How consistent are you with adding value every day? How consistent are you with every single step of the social selling system being checked off? And how consistent are you with rotating your brand? Okay? So you do not want to just show up every single day and be like, this is my bundle, this is my skincare, or people are just going to tune you out. You have to figure out what are the 3 to 5 things that make you you. For me, I don't feel right if I don't start my day with motivation. All right. So I share that with my network because they know that's super important to me. And now that's become part of my brand. I even say in the beginning of my videos, you know, if you're new to my community here, make sure you drop newbie in the comments. This is where we do all things beauty from the inside out, motivation to makeup, and a lot of other stuff in between, or something along the lines of that. I say literally every single day, okay? So figure out what your brand is. And once you know what makes you you, how can you use those things to add value to your network? Not just share with them what you love, but add value to them. That's part of relationship building. And the best leaders in the world are the best relationship builders in the world because they're the best at connecting with other people. And you can't connect with other people and build relationships if you're not even crystal clear yourself on what moves you, what drives you, what do you really love? So I know that question sounds simple. How consistent are you? But there's so much more to it. Number one, pin your brand down. Take out a piece of paper and a pen, and you write the 3 to 5 things that you're going to have on rotation on your business page over and over and over again, but not just to share what you love, to share value related to those things that make up your brand, okay? Throw up some hearts if this is making sense. Hi, Nancy. Nancy is one of our newest makeup mobsters. Nancy, this is going to be a lot of information I'm throwing out at you right now. And I will talk to you guys more about it once you kind of get your feet wet and stuff with the business. But, so your brand, once you nail that down, ask yourself, how consistent are you showing up and adding value every day? And how consistent are you with each and every single one of the social selling system steps? So if you're struggling to sponsor and if you're struggling to sell, take a step back. Instead of saying, this doesn't work for me, I hate my business page, I don't know as many people as she does, her personality and my personality aren't the same. It doesn't matter, because I promise you, the other leaders that I'm collaborating with and learning myself as we go, we're all so very different. I'm talking shy and introverted, loud and outgoing, super geeky and into numbers, total hippie free spirit. It's all walks of life, you guys, okay? Anyone can follow these steps, but you must be consistent with it. And you must not just be consistent. Consistency doesn't mean showing up. You have to also be effective. Your consistency needs to be effective. So if you're like, well, I show up every day and I do the things, then maybe this is time where we need to step back and say, but am I adding value? Am I, putting my brand on rotate? Am I actually doing every step of the social selling system? Or am I just posting this here and that there and going live this day and talking about this that day and saying, well, I show up every day and do the things? It's got to make sense, you guys. It's got to make sense. Just like if we were to open a traditional business, you have a business plan. Technically, the social selling system is like our business plan. And the more professionally and efficiently you run it, the better the results are going to be, okay? And in order to run something efficiently, you have to have organization, you have to have clarity, and you have to have consistency powering all of it. Does this make sense? Good. I'm great at sharing what I love, but definitely lacking some value. Love that I have that area to grow. Yeah, and that's a great perspective. So if you can recognize where your disconnect is happening with this system, that's the beautiful thing about being really real with yourself and really honest and willing to say things like, I need to grow in this area. I need to grow. For me, I'll tell you guys what, as my business page is growing, I learned real quick what area I needed to grow in, and it was organization. So guess what I did? I spent 2.5 hours one day, and I sat down and I went into my settings on my phone and I did the keyboard text replacement. And I literally put in a text replacement for all of my most common conversations that I'm having about sponsoring, about sales, about my skincare, about the bundle, even color matching. If I type in my phone color match, my little paragraph automatically pops up that explains to the person, hey, no problem. I would love to help you, pick a perfect foundation for you. Just snap a picture of yourself in natural light in front of a window or a door, blah, 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 blah. Okay. It's all there. Do you know that every time I save 22 seconds of typing that all out, number one, I'm saving a few years of arthritis in my thumbs. But for real, add that up over a week, add that up over a month, add that up over a year. I'm saving a ton of time that I can now spend more time building relationships, having conversations, getting to genuinely know people, do the things that produce the results, because all that other stuff is now in line and in order. So I very quickly realized, like, as my page continues to grow, I'm like, dang girl, you need to get some organization up in her. I got the system down. Now I need a virtual assistant from my own phone to like help me pop some of this out a little bit quicker. Okay. Cause I'm still a mom, you guys. I'm still a wife. And now apparently I'm a homeschool teacher too. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be willing to be really real with yourself. All right. So that's question number 1. Question number 2 that is going to help you solve both the sponsoring and selling problems that we face in this business is that's okay, Nicole. I love that. I feel like all of us being quarantined, being home with our kids, not working, you know, it's brought up a lot. So I think that's awesome. And here's the thing about your brand. Once you have your brand, it doesn't mean it can't ever change. It doesn't mean you can't make adjustments to it, right? Because if you're showing up consistently every day and sharing who you are with people, excuse me, seltzer water, then, you know, that's just going to like naturally, organically kind of happen where you're on a live one day and talking about something that's important to you or something that's come up or, you know, values that are now more apparent and more relevant than they've ever been in our entire life. You know what I mean? Like that's just gonna happen. It's like your why. Once you know why you're doing what you do, that's going to change. When I started this business, my why was something completely different than what it is now. Because when I started my business 5.5 years ago, I needed fulfillment. I clicked that join button because I needed to be uplifted. I needed to be empowered. I wanted so badly to be validated. I was missing that in my life. Well, I got that and then some. So like my why has transitioned with me. Your brand is going to change from time to time. Your why is going to change from time to time. And there's nothing wrong with that. So this is not like a tattoo that like once you get it, it's there and that's it. That's amazing, Nicole, that you could be that in touch with yourself, that you're understanding now because of the circumstances presented, that there are different things that are important to you now that maybe once before weren't a priority. And I think that's super cool. So share that and share that proud. And don't ever think that, you know, like, oh, but I can't because it's not part of my brand. Yes, it is. Your feelings, your loves, your hopes, your desires, your dreams, the things that move you, the things that make you you, that's your brand. That's you. That's who you are. Share it loud and share it proud. All right. Whew. Number 2, how many conversations are you having that are not anything to do with your business? Okay. Now, this is going to come off maybe a little confusing, right? Because we're here to build our businesses. We're here to be super successful with sponsoring. We're here to sell our product, right? We're in the business of sales and there's no shame in that. I show up every day. Just right before I got on here, I went live and I said, hey guys, I'm showing you my April bundle. Here's what it is. Here's what it is. Da, 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 da. Drop this if you want information on it. Drop that if you want information on the lashes. Blah, blah, blah. I am a saleswoman. I sell amazing products and I sell amazing opportunity, right? But the thing is that you can't just be here to sell. You can't just be here to get someone on your team. That will never work. That will never hold up. That might work for a little bit of time. That might work to get you started and maybe like hit 1 promotion, 2 promotions. You talk to your coworkers, you talk to your family, you talk to your friends. Hey, I started a new opportunity. You should buy this mascara. It's going to work for you for a little bit. But my God, it's not going to work to build a super successful business. If you want to be successful in this business, going back to what I said in the beginning, you have got to become a master at connecting with people and at building relationships. And if more of your conversations are for sales than they are to add value, get to know people, help solve problems, answer questions, then you're doing it wrong. And it's hard. I know that's like a fine line because we're like, well, show up consistently, do the things. My inbox is full. And my inbox is full of a lot of people that dropped a keyword that I'm sending information to about the skincare bundle, about the makeup bundle, about the beauty box. Yes, absolutely. But guess what? I'm also having conversations about how are you handling this homeschooling thing with your kids? What are you doing? Do you have any tips for me on this? How is that going with this? The other day, a girlfriend of mine, not really a girlfriend, somebody I met on my business page that I built a relationship with, posted photos of her garden boxes that she's planting. I love gardening. I don't know if you guys know that about me. I love plants. I love gardening. I love it so much. And I have 2 little sad garden boxes in the backyard, like, that I need to revive and like bring back to life. So I was like, oh my God, like, did you follow a plan for them? Or like, what did you do? And how do you get it started? And we're having gardening conversations and real life things, you guys, because I'm a real life person, right? And people will respect that. People will appreciate that, and people can feel when you're genuine from a mile away. Y'all know I tell you that your energy speaks for you before you even open your mouth. So if you have commission breath where the only reason you're saying things and the only reason you're doing things is because you want the sale, gimme, 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 you're literally going to build a wall around you that's going to be 9 times harder to break through to get the results that you want than if you just be a good human being. So ask yourself, are you having more conversations? How many conversations are you having that have nothing to do with your business? Why do you think I put common interest groups as a part of the selling system? You guys, everything I do is intentional. I did that because if you're in common interest groups talking about dogs or keto or exercise or coffee or whatever, that has nothing to do with your business. That's allowing people to see you for who you are. That's allowing people in to relate and connect with that have a common interest as you. Those are the things that we need to be doing in order to be successful. Not even just at our business, guys, but at life, okay? So I know that it's easier said than done for some people, right? Like, I'm an extrovert. I love to talk to people. I can like have a conversation with my can of like seltzer water and be totally content with my life. I get that not everybody is like that, but I do know this. If you go out of your way to push yourself out of your comfort zone and do something that at one time, maybe right now for you, doesn't feel comfortable, like having conversations with people, you'll get better. All right? We have to go through the suck to get good, and we have to go through the good to get great. There's no way to go from point A to point B. You've got to go through the mud. You've got to go through the journey. You've got to go through the steps. It doesn't happen otherwise. And that's the most beautiful part about this business, is that it's not the goal that you achieve. It's the person you become on your way to get there. That's the beautiful part, because nobody can take that away from you. That's not a color status. That's not a paycheck. That's not a charm for your charm board. That's the person you've grown into, and no one can touch that. And it will help you literally in every other area of your life. It's literally my driving force for leadership. It's what I love the most. Not helping you be successful, but helping you grow into the type of person and the person you need to be and the woman that you need to become to get to where you want to go. Nobody can touch you. Nobody can take that away from you. That's yours. You did it. You worked for it, but it's hard. It's hard because we have to get uncomfortable. It's hard because we have to do things that we don't always want to do. It's hard because maybe sometimes you just feel like Netflix and chill, when really 30 minutes having conversations with people would serve you better and serve them better. Okay? So it's not always easy, and it's not always just the business things that make your business successful. So that's why I felt like it was so important to include this. Like, this might just be that one little missing piece for you that you can work on. And guys, going back to what I said before, get really real with yourself. If you're like, yeah, I definitely am not good at the whole relationship building thing, study it, read it, okay? Because question number 3 that we're going to ask ourselves that's going to help with both of these issues that all of us face at one point in time in our business is how much personal and professional development do you do each day, okay? You can't get better results if you don't get better. You can't have, more success if you don't become a stronger person. You can't have external things around you improve if internally you don't build that up first. There's no way to cheat that. There's no way to fake that, okay? So a lot of times when I'm talking with people, when we're coaching, when we're having these conversations about, I'm stuck here or I'm stuck with this or I'm not getting the results I want or this isn't working, blah, 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 blah. It's actually not about the things that you're doing or the things that you're saying. It's really about the fact of what's missing. And a lot of times people brush off personal and professional development as this self-help thing that I'm good, I don't need that. And here's the thing, personal development is not about, oh, I'm a weak person and I need to be better. It's about, I'm becoming a stronger person every day. How can I challenge myself more? And with professional development, that's your time of the day where you get to dive into things like relationship building, leadership, sponsoring, sales, whatever you feel like you need to get better at, then those are the videos that you go to YouTube and search. Those are the videos that you go into the team page and put into the search bar. Those are the areas of your life that you work on because recognition is step 1 in getting better at something. And if you don't recognize what you're struggling with, you can't do anything to improve. But once you recognize it, you also can't ignore it. Because if you want to get better results, you have to become better. All right? So when it comes to sponsoring, when it comes to sales, when it comes to feeling stuck, when it comes to I don't know what I'm doing wrong, when it comes to the social selling system doesn't work for me, when it comes to I don't want to do that business page thing, I don't get engagement, when it comes to I'm getting rejected and I don't like how that makes me feel, I want you guys to ask yourself these 3 questions. Because if you keep this at the forefront of every single day and everything you do, and you start to act with intention instead of just going through the motions to say that you did it, you're going to see a major difference. You will, I promise you, see a major difference. The other 2 little bonus tips that I wrote down that I'm going to share with you guys, and we're going to close on this, is you have to trust the process, right? So ask yourself these questions, answer these questions honestly for yourself, okay? When it comes to sponsoring, even if you're doing the social selling system, even if you're doing step by step, right? Obviously, one of the steps of the social selling system is going live. One of the things you could do that will majorly increase the results you get with sponsoring is to infuse your story into every single live video that you did, okay? Or every single live video that you do. So instead of just being a unique presenter, you're going to be Lisa Zelno. You're going to be Joyce Preston. You're going to be you, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, blah, 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 blah. You're using the mascara, and you're like, I freaking love this mascara. 5.5 years ago, I bought this crazy mascara, and it's literally transformed my life. And then that will transition into a little snippet of your story. Why did you join? What has it done for you? It makes you a real person, not just somebody trying to sell. And it opens up a doorway to literally talk about the opportunity every single day. If you're going live to do your makeup, be smart and check off all those other boxes as well. You could talk about your favorite lash combo. That's what I did on my live before I got on here tonight. I talked about my bundle, I talked about the lash duo, and I talked about the beauty box, the presenter kit, all in one live. But I did it in a way that wasn't like, go buy this, go here and get that, go here and get that. I just talked. I was me. This is my story. This is what I do, blah, 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 blah. And it just flows, okay? So every single day that you're going live, infuse your story. Stories sell, facts tell, okay? Remember that. You could say how great something is and what it does all day long. People don't care. They want to know your story and they want to know why you do what you do. Because anybody could drive down, maybe not right now, but normally anybody could drive down to the local Target or the local drugstore and buy a $10 mascara. What's going to make them order your $24 mascara instead? Your story, who you are and why you do what you do. That's why. So make sure you're sharing that every single opportunity you can, every single chance you get. And with sales, talk about how you feel when you're using something versus what it does, okay? So when you're putting on, today, for instance, I use the BB cream. I'm like, oh, I just want a light, blah, blah, blah. BB cream is awesome because it makes me feel really dewy, which makes me feel really good. It makes me feel really natural. It's kind of like the no makeup look. Talk about how you feel. Talk about the confidence boost it gives you. Talk about the fact that when you put your 4D Fiber Lash Mascara on, you become like Beyonce, like confident, and you're ready to like take on the world. Talk about how you feel. Talk about the fact that ever since I started using my skincare consistently, I feel more beautiful at night. I'm not kidding you guys. I like the fun, funky makeup looks. I love having fun with makeup. I love how it makes me feel. It makes me feel extra sassy. If I want to have more romantic vibe, I could play that up with the colors. If I want to feel like fierce, I could throw a red lip on. I love that. But do you want to know when I feel the most beautiful? Is at night when I'm doing my skincare videos. I love that I feel so beautiful when I take it all off. And I share that with my network. I share the fact that my wish for other women, for all other women, is to feel fierce and feminine and powerful when you wear in your makeup, but you feel just as beautiful when you take it off. Talk about how you feel, not what it does. And I promise you that will help, okay? Show up with posture, show up with confidence, and show up with excitement. And if you do those things, there's no way of escaping success. You're gonna have it. It just takes time, patience, consistency, and showing up and grinding and being, grind, grit, grace, giving yourself grace along the way. Remember what I said before, you guys. You have to suck before you can get good. And I hate even saying that because nobody sucks, but you know what I'm saying? You got to be bad before you can be good, but you have to be good before you can get great. You can determine that. You control that by the actions in which you take and the questions in which you ask yourself. So I hope that you guys found value from this. I hope that asking yourself these questions is going to help you see clarity in what it is that you're doing. Not are you just showing up consistently, but how are you showing up, okay? Not are you having conversations about the business, but how many conversations are you having that have nothing to do with your business? And how much personal and professional growth are you doing every single day? And I'm going to end with this, promise. The 5 a.m. club has a lot to do with getting up early, but it's not what the book title, what you would think. I literally just finished it 2 days ago, and I want to start the book all over again. I loved it that much. It talks about how your mindset and your soul set and your health set, and like it talks about the inner pillars of strength. It's so incredibly good. It's so incredibly powerful to understand why we do the things that we do and why we think the way that we think and how we can literally train ourselves to be the most powerful beings on the planet. So if you are like, I'm somebody that's guilty, I'm not doing enough personal development, go to Audible, go to Amazon, order the actual book, order the Audible version. I don't care how you consume it, but get the 5 a.m. Club. It's by Robin Sharma. It will blow your damn minds. I'm not even kidding, okay? You can thank me later. All right, I love you guys. Have an amazing night. Thank you for showing up. Everybody have a beautiful and a blessed Easter. I know it's going to be a little weird this year, but it's not what the holiday's about. So enjoy your Easter weekend. I love you guys. I'll talk to y'all later. Good night.